Hey there, it's J-Dog. Hey, I've been about 2 weeks on my virtual Camino, and I've been doing a lot of biking in these 2 weeks. So I thought in this video, I'd show you some of the places that I've biked to. It's been about 2 weeks since I started my virtual Camino. I've done about 160 odd kilometers. Not sure how many miles that is, but I'll put it up on the screen. And I've primarily been biking to familiar places. And this is one of them. This is Bowditch Point Park on the very tip of Fort Myers Beach, the island, Estero Island. And this whole area is a beautiful park. I'll show you some clips here while I'm talking, but this is a very pretty park. It's actually the highest point on Estero Island. Not that that matters, everything's pretty low here, but I like coming here just because it's, I don't know, it's about a 5-mile bike ride from my house. And it's a pretty park where there's beaches on the bayside, and I'll show you some beach clips here. But it's a pretty area to hang out, there's bathrooms and everything. But this is one of the places that I've been coming to on my virtual Camino. So on the real Camino Frances, there's a lot of churches. You'll see people, a lot of these small towns have churches. And so on my virtual Camino, one of the places I do bike to is this church here, the Beach United Methodist Church. I'll show you a couple clips inside of what it looks like here. I'm not going to go in now, but I'll show you some clips I recorded so you can see. It's a nice sanctuary inside, some nice stained glass. And they call it the Beach United Methodist Church. It's about 1,000 steps from this beautiful beach, Fort Myers Beach. I bike down to the beach church every Sunday, about 4.5 miles from my house. But it's one of the churches I stop. I thought I'd show it to you this first time because it is one of the places that's going to be on my virtual Camino every week for the mileage. But I want to show you another church that I go to also on Sunday after I attend this church. Another place I like to bike to is the San Damiano Monastery of St. Clair. This is on Estero Island in Fort Myers Beach. It's this little beautiful enclave, which I'll show you some shots of here. It is a pretty setting. And this monastery is home to a order of nuns, the Poor Clare nuns. And they're a cloistered group of about 7 nuns. They actually don't go out in public, but I have met a couple of them. But let me show you why I come down here. The reason I come down to the monastery, I come down about once a week when it's open, is to pray in their chapel here. It's the only thing that's open to the public. Footnote, though, it's closed right now because of COVID. But I come down to pray in the chapel. It's open during the day. You got to get buzzed in. But it's this beautiful little serene place. I'll show some pictures here. I haven't really taken any video inside there. But it's a beautiful place to pray. I usually come down here and spend about a half hour. Sometimes the nuns are in there praying, and I listen to their prayers, but it's a very peaceful place. But this is kind of one of my regular places that I bike to in Fort Myers Beach. So those are a few of the places that I bike to on the first couple weeks of my virtual Camino. They were places I normally would go on my bike, and I did, like I say, most of the places I went, most of the mileage and distance I did was on my bike. I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I did a little over 160 kilometers during the first 2.5 weeks. If I had been on the real Camino, I would have walked through from Saint Jean Pied de Port across the Pyrenees to Roncesvalles. I would have gone through Pamplona. I would have gone through Lorenzo. I'd be close to Lorenzo, an ancient city there. But I would have done some tough miles. These were actually pretty easy miles in Florida, all flat and on the bike. But up next on the segment is going to be places that I walk to. So I do quite a bit of walking also in addition to biking, and I thought I'd show you some of the little different places I walk to. I'm going to log the miles on my virtual Camino. I got a total of 773 kilometers to do, so this video here is a little delayed. I'm actually in total up about 300 kilometers so far, but what I'm showing you here is in the first 2.5 weeks. So stay tuned for the next video of my virtual Camino.